DJ Erica. Welcome to another episode of the DJ Erica podcast. What's up, y'all? I am glad you guys are back with me. What's up, y'all? I hope you guys are feeling good. You know I'm back on the mic and I'm excited to talk about some more celebrity news and hot topics. Of course, I talk about things that goes on in the world outside of this entertainment stuff, but I do like to gossip a bit, I'm not gonna lie. And today we're gonna talk about more celebrity news and things that's been going on. And of course, I'm gonna do my music review of the week. I already know how I do. I always do my music review because you know I love the music because I am a DJ. You know what I'm saying? And I had to bring in a little bit of music to bring in the vibes today. I hope you guys are feeling real good. And if it's your first time listening, do me a favor, do me a big favor. It's your first time listening, hit the subscribe button. Hit the subscribe button, it's not gonna hurt nobody. Hit the thumbs up button. Everybody on YouTube, hit that thumbs up button and leave a comment. If you're first time listening, say I just subscribed. I'll give you a shout out on the next show. Hey, so today, for the hot topics, baby, we're going to talk about T.I. We're going to talk about T.I. and Tiny and this entire scandal they got going on. And things just heat up. It just got heated and heating up, okay? Things are starting to get real, okay? And T.I. just lost a job because of this whole ordeal. So we're going to talk about that. Instagram has gone AWOL, ladies and gentlemen. Did your likes and comments and views counts disappear on Instagram this week? I'm going to tell y'all exactly what's going on with that. And we're going to talk about Tekashi 6ix9ine. We're going to talk about the Nike vice president retiring because of a reselling shoe scandal, y'all. Oh, baby, it's getting real. Let's do it. All right, y'all. So what's up, y'all? I hope you guys are feeling real good. I'm feeling great. This is episode 51 of the DJ Erica podcast. And like I said before, we're going to get to talking about these subjects and stuff like that. But if you guys haven't already, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, notification bell. So what's going on today? It looks as if T.I. and Tiny is really about to get back into trouble, y'all. Now, remember, a couple of weeks ago, there was a few women that came out that made allegations that T.I. and Tiny allegedly sexually assaulted them, had some false imprisonment, some drugging and things like that going on. But a few weeks later, like I would say a week or a half later after these allegations came out, it was reported that allegedly, T.I. and Tiny was able to settle this whole thing down and pay a couple of people off to stop talking about the whole scandal and the ordeal going on. But ever since then, okay, things have reheated up over the weekend and over the week as a lawyer has gone after them from New York and several other states, putting together a case saying that there are several women who has more allegations in regards to rape, kidnapping, and much more. Okay, so I'm going to read this right now. And this is a long dissertation from the New York Times, y'all. Y'all got to chill with me while I read all this stuff down. And then I'm going to give y'all my opinion on the whole situation and tell y'all what I really think about it. Because definitely it's crazy. Definitely crazy. And the stuff that's going on with T.I. and Tiny right now. And it's like, wow, like a lot of things are going down. And T.I. actually lost his job on a movie of Ant-Man from Marvel. He was like a supporting role, and they said that his role will not be returning. So I don't know if they're going to get another actor to play the role that he had, or if they're just going to flat out just delete that entire role out of the film. But it looks as if they're taking hits. The Harris family, T.I., Tiny, Tip, Harris, all of them, they are taking hits right now, and it doesn't look good over in the household in the neighborhood with them. They already lost the family hustle. You guys know that the show was suspended because of this ordeal. But let me just get into this whole thing. Okay, according to the New York Times, okay, weeks after accusations of sexual abuse and assault against the rapper, Tiny and his wife, Tamika Harris, also known, T.I. and his wife, Tamika Harris, also known as Tiny, started circulating on social media. A lawyer has approached law enforcement authorities in 2 separate states seeking criminal inquiries on behalf of 11 people who said they were victimized by the couple or members of their entourage. Okay, so this is getting really salacious. They got 11 people now. We done went from one woman going on social media saying that T.I. was unfit for working with the mayor of Atlanta, Keisha Lance Bottoms, on being like in control of keeping the violence and the peace in the streets of Atlanta, and him calling it out. We don't went from that to 2 other females coming forward. Now we're at 11. Okay, listen, by the end of this is going to be over 30 people accusing T.I. and Tiny of the same allegations, y'all. So it's just getting deep. The rabbit hole's going deep. Let me finish the story. Okay, so on behalf of 11 people who said they were victimized by the couple or members of their entourage, 4 women have accused the celebrity pair of drugging and sexually assaulting them, including 2 instances of rape, y'all. And I might have to edit it out on YouTube, but they're saying that allegedly rape was involved, that were said to have occurred in Georgia. And they're saying these rapes allegedly occurred in the state. These alleged rapes happened in the state of Georgia along with California, according to letters sent on February 19th by the lawyer Tyrone Blackburn, okay, to state and federal prosecutors in both states. Similar letters were also sent to Attorney General in those states. Mr. Blackburn, the attorney, a New York-based lawyer, okay, said that the eerily similar experiences span more than a decade, okay? It said the first occurrence beginning in 2005, and the most recent allegation of sexual abuse occurred between 2017 and 2018, you guys. He said none of the women involved know one another, okay? So this is a part where we're going to dissect. They said none of these women know each other. Okay, and they have similar circumstances in the letters that they wrote, making claims against the couple. Okay, it says none of the women involved know each other, but describes sexual abuse, forced ingestion of illegal narcotics, kidnapping, terroristic threats, false imprisonment, ladies and gentlemen, and at the behest of T.I. and Miss Harris and their associates and or employees. His letter also include instances of non-sexual intimidation, assault, and harassment. Y'all, it's getting deep, okay? So they're basically trying to say that T.I. and Tiny are some serious sexual deviants, allegedly. And this is crazy because it's like, it seems every few years or so, a lot of high-profile men in the industry are being called out or maybe even targeted by people, mostly females, stepping forward saying that they were victimized by them, sexually abused by them. And it's just starting to feel a little crazy. And this is the only differences compared to like Bill Cosby's and a lot of these other people who's been locked up. I think the other dude was Epstein and all these other people that's been locked up because of these sexual deviances, is that this is the first time that they said the wife was actually involved. They're alleging that Tiny was equally a part of this whole ordeal, this alleged and whole ordeal allegedly with her husband. So it's like she's playing an equal part. It's kind of like him being a pimp and she being the madam, you know what I'm saying? Or she, you know what I mean? So it's just so freaking crazy that this is going on. And I'm here as a person who's on this podcast to talk about what's up, and I want everybody to get their opinion on it, because me personally, I don't know if it's true, y'all. I don't know if it's true. I don't know if it's not true. You know, if it is true, any woman who's been sexually assaulted should have the right to step forward, make a claim, and also bring their perpetrator or alleged attacker or, person to justice, and find justice for being victimized or sexually assaulted and abused. On the other end, we have a lot to unfold because these are high profile people, okay? These are people who have a lot of money, a lot of resources, a lot of things to lose. So it makes you wonder if this is indeed a money grab amongst these women. Now, there's already certain circumstances where I feel in the court of law could possibly tamper this entire case, because we started this whole thing off online, okay? And the first person who came out, Sabrina Peterson, she came out, like I said, called out T.I., basically saying he was a fraud, saying that, that he shouldn't be working for Keisha Lance Bottoms because he allegedly put a gun towards her head and all this other stuff. And she called him out, which made more women come in. Now, the question is, how many of these women is actually telling the truth? Now, she did post on social media with screenshots of people who DM'd her with similar stories that she posted. But it's also a thing where we still have to investigate the original accuser, Sabrina Peterson, and make sure that the victims that she brought up is actually really victims, you guys. Because if we really think about it, T.I. and Tiny had a really solid relationship with this woman who started this entire thing. Something happened that made it so these people fell out with her. Okay, it made it so T.I. and Tiny fell out with her, or she fell out with T.I. and Tiny. Whatever the situation was, do we actually know what it was? It could possibly be this entire sex organization allegedly that's going on, the sex trafficking that's allegedly going on. We are not quite sure. But in a circumstance where there's a lot of high profile people and a lot of money involved, there is a possibility that someone might be out for revenge. Is it possible that this woman, Sabrina Peterson, allegedly, and I'm telling you guys my personal perspective and going on one side of the spectrum and bringing it over to the other side, okay? This isn't facts. When I'm telling you right now, putting on my mic, this is not facts. This is just speculation. But is it possible, the same way that we're speculating that it's possible for them to be involved in this sex ring, is it possible for Sabrina to be a disgruntled friend? Someone who's upset that fact that she couldn't keep her relationship and bond with T.I. and Tiny after they had these alleged sexual relations or these alleged things going on in the bedroom. Is it possible? You know, when we're thinking about these things, we have to dig deeper. I mean, when I bring you guys these headlines, I'm not just reading it off to you just for the hell of it and just saying they're guilty. Because there is literally three sides. That's what they say to every story. It's one person's side, the other person's side, and then it's the truth, right? So the truth would be us visually watching what's going on, right? But even then, we don't really know what's going on because we're seeing it, but we don't know what actually happened in between that or what's really going on. It's only off of their naked eye and what we hear and see. And sometimes what we hear and see don't be what we think, okay? So my perception, if they can bring actual evidence, if they can bring actual proof, and I'm not talking about just them saying that they did these things. If they did do it, should they be held accountable? They should be. But at the same time, we have to start following the laws of the land, people, and trying to figure out if they're really innocent before being proved guilty. Because right now, everyone is saying they're guilty and they haven't even had the opportunity to be proved innocent. It's so funny because they say that all the time. They say an individual is innocent until proven guilty. But how things work around here, if you are a person, especially a black person in this world, if you are accused of doing something, you are usually seen as guilty until proven innocent. And we are in an era of a Me Too movement, which also put the fire up even higher for the world to also be able to speculate and also warp the judgment and the possible justice that could happen in the midst of all of this. So, you know, I'm going to read more from this. Y'all tell me, do y'all think T.I. and Tiny did it? Do you guys think that they've been involved in a sexual organization, a ring, sex trafficking? Or do y'all think that they were just regular? They are just regular Hollywood people who get the Hollywood treatment. And we know what the Hollywood treatment is, people. Sex, drugs, and rock and roll. Okay? And this is where you get whatever you want because you can sing, you can dance, you're feeding a community of people, you're moving a community of people, You know, you're making people dance, sing, you're bringing joy. When you're an artist, you have the gift of controlling people's emotions with your music and the things that you do. When you act, when you're putting out art to people, when you're an artist in general, because right, when we say T.I. and Tiny, this is a musical entertainment couple who has so much power over the culture of black people, over the culture of young people, just over the culture of not only hip hop, but with Tiny R&B culture, who really has the power. You know what I mean? So it's just so much that we have to, dissect when we're thinking about, is it possible for them to just been average people, enjoying the fruits of their labor, being able to be free to do what they want and get their sex, drugs, and rock and roll because of these powers they had. Okay? And like I said before, we seen him go on Instagram. I'm pretty sure you guys seen T.I. go on Instagram, and he didn't deny the fact, that him and Tiny did whatever. But he said, it's not our business what goes on in their bedroom. And it's really not anybody's business what goes on with anybody's bedroom, right? It's not my business, your business, you know what I mean? But when it gets to the point when this is now headline news, it becomes everybody's business because everybody want to know what in the world is going on and why is it all of these women coming out at one time with these allegations? Is it a conspiracy? Is everybody conspiring to go against T.I. and Tiny? Did someone behind in the camp of T.I. and Tiny piss someone off in Hollywood or piss somebody off and made them say, you know what? We're going to get them. Is that possible? Or is it possible that they allegedly, and like I said before, this is speculation, not facts, they live two different lives? Because we have various faces as people. You see one face when you look at me, right? You see one face when you look at everybody, right? But you get different sides of people. And that's what I mean by different face. Because you have the face of the family person who take care of their kids. You get the face of a person who's in a relationship and how they treat their spouse. You get the face of a person who has their relationship with their mama and how they treat their mama. It's certain things that they will say to their spouse that they would never say to their mama. There's certain things that they would say things to their mama that they wouldn't say to their kids. There's certain things they would say to their kids that they could not dare to say to their mama. Y'all know where I'm going with this. So the question is it possible that they have many faces and we were just used to one? Similar to Bill Cosby and all of these other people who's going down. But now this case is cracked wide open and they're in trouble, y'all. And by the way, if you guys want to read it, this thing is like a 6-page article, okay, from the New York Times that I tagged on my website, djjericapod.com. Go there and check it out. But as this unfolds now, right, I said it was 11 women on the last article. I move over to the next article, okay, and a few days later, now it's saying this now 30 women who has come forward and said T.I. and Tiny has allegedly sexually assaulted them, allegedly raped them, done a lot of messed up stuff, okay? At this point, I'm just going to sit back and watch, and we're going to see exactly what's going to happen. Let me see how much time I got on here. I only got a few more seconds on camera time, so we're going to get really deep back into it. But yeah, you guys, so like, now since it's 30 women that's come forward now, because before it was only 11 on that last article I read, y'all, they said it's 30 women now. So out of the 30 women, that's come forward about T.I. and Tiny, how many of them are possibly liars? How many of them possibly are up for a money grab? How many of them is actually telling the truth? And listen, y'all, now, because now this thing is getting even deeper, because with us unveiling and finding out that not only is a couple of states involved in its investigations and lawyers involved from different states that's outside of their home state of Atlanta. We now have 30 women coming forward saying that they did some more things. And now a woman is name dropping another celebrity who allegedly was with T.I. and Tiny, that possibly, okay, R-word. I'm gonna have to edit this out on YouTube. R-word her. And this person is Nelly. How the hell did Nelly get involved in this situation? And I'm talking about, you know who we talk about, St. Louis Nelly. They saying Nelly allegedly was involved in one of these sexcapades, and he actually a female, and they forced T.I. and Tiny and their crew forced this woman to have with Nelly. Okay, I'm gonna read this part of the story because this stuff is just getting crazy. It's hot. Listen, I got some more stuff I'm gonna talk about, but this is the main topic at hand because baby, it's just getting deep and it just keep unfolding. It's like an onion peel. It's so many layers of this. Okay, now I'm gonna read this. All right, the rapper whose legal name Clifford Harris and his wife have repeatedly denied the allegations. No criminal charges have been filed. No lawsuits have been filed. It appears that the couple is not under a criminal investigation. Lawyer Tyrone Blackburn, once again the person I mentioned earlier, said he has approached law enforcement authorities on behalf of the 8 people who have claimed to have been victimized by the couple and members of their entourage. Okay, now we're going to talk about instances. Okay, Blackburn, the attorney, detailed some of these allegations in a news conference on Monday. He said the majority of the incidents, which date fires back as 2007, happened in Atlanta. Okay, so this happened in the state of Georgia. Okay, Blackburn gave examples of women who said anonymously that they had been drugged, they had been raped by the couple, and one woman said a security guard kidnapped her at gunpoint and drove her into the woods and her. So she's saying that it wasn't just T.I. and Tiny, their own security guard took her at gunpoint after they did whatever they wanted to do to her. Allegedly, he got what he wanted from her, her out in the forest somewhere. So this is sick. Okay, Blackburn said he has been contacted in recent weeks by more than 30 women, as I told y'all before, women as survivors and witnesses who allege similar stories of forced drugging, kidnapping, intimidation. The allegations span more than 15 years, eerily consistent. Once again, I'm repeating these same things over and over again because I'm about to get to the meat and potatoes of this. Stick with me, y'all. Stick with me and hit that subscribe button if you guys haven't already. Okay. All right, so the specific allegations include individuals who claim having been coerced by Tiny to ingest drugs and being unknowingly administered drugs to impair the victim's ability to consist with sexual acts. This People magazine reported, okay? Blackburn has sent letters to Georgia's Attorney General and officials in California requesting investigation to be opened under the Trafficking Victims Protection Act. That's TVPA, baby. And Georgia's rape, kidnapping, RICO, and terroristic threat statutes. Meanwhile, 5 women told New York Times that they were drugged and sexually assaulted by the 40-year-old T.I. and his 45-year-old white Tiny, okay, or others in their orbit, so people in their entourage. An attorney for the couple, Steve Shadow, provided another statement. Clifford, T.I., and Tamika Harris denies in the strongest terms these unsubstantiable and baseless allegations. We are confident that if these claims are thoroughly and fairly investigated, no charges will be forthcoming. These allegations are nothing more than a continuation of a sordid shakedown campaign that began on social media. The Harrises implore everyone not to be taken by these obvious attempts and manipulate the press and misuse the justice system. Now, in related news, this is where Nelly falls into it. Y'all stick with me. In related news, one accuser claimed the couple forced her to have sex with Nelly against her will back in 2014. The accusers made themselves noticed on Instagram with the below post. So they went to Instagram and made a post in regards to that. And that's where they also stated that Nelly was involved and that the couple forced them to have sex with Nelly. So listen, y'all, when we start adding other celebrities to this, I feel like it's about to go down in Black Hollywood. I feel like there's about to be a lot of high profile people in Hollywood getting locked up, you guys, or coming to trial because of these allegations of things that's been being accused of these folks. Okay. Now, a lot of people were saying, if you guys are going to do these things, you be sexual deviants. And I was hearing people on the streets talking, on the internet streets and social media talking, saying, hey, if they want to get freaky, why would they get freaky with these random females? Why would they do this, this, and this? Why didn't they do it with people who also had something to lose? Well, clearly they just allegedly did this with someone who also had something to lose, which would be this Nelly. You know what I mean? So who else were they doing this stuff with? And really feeling like they had the power, allegedly, over these women to do this because these women were not well known. They were average females trying to get a come up in the music industry or whatever the situation may be. They felt like they had the power to do that, you guys. So I want to know, and I want to pick your brain. Does that make you guys think like, if they're name dropping a celebrity like Nelly, is it possible that all of Black Hollywood is involved in this, allegedly? Is it possible, and this is speculation, is it possible that there's more rappers that's involved in this? And I'm realizing also that Me Too is now refocusing their lens on hip hop, because they already went after Bill Cosby. They went out after that other perverted director guy and put him in jail and behind bars. And he got a bunch of trials going up right now. You know, now I'm sitting there thinking like, okay, now they're doing hip hop. And another person I think of when I think of, you know, alleged sexual abuse would be Raz B from B2K, who's come on social media, has gone on Jason Lee's Hollywood Unlocked and made allegations against his family member and a former manager of Immature and IMX is saying these allegations, Mr. and I'm not going to say his name because I know this man like to get lawyers, but just look it up on the internet, ladies and gentlemen. Look up the person who allegedly sexually assaulted Raz B from B2K, because I mean, he done went up Jason Lee and like literally send out a freaking documentation. What is it? Cease and dismiss? Cease and dismiss or whatever. And he had put out the interview and they blanked his name out through the entire thing. So I'm not going to say the dude's name. Don't come on my little platform. And actually, my platform is big. Don't come on my big platform trying to start the drama. All right. But y'all know, go on the YouTube streets. If y'all are, I would say, a part of the millennium crowd who's about 27 and older, y'all know who we talking about. Okay, and he's talking about his own cousin is allegedly was involved in having a sex ring with him, and another R&B singer as well was involved with sexually assaulting him as well. And you guys, you know, he's supposed to be dropping a book. I'm definitely looking forward to reading that. And a lot of people, they're so sensitive because everyone is so sensitive when it comes to like Black men getting put into the justice system based off of the history of the justice system, of the court system, and how many Black people who and Black men who have been wrongly prosecuted, locked up for the rest of their days, or who've been given extensive sentences for something that their white counterpart will probably get little to no time for. And since we're so sensitive to that, when it comes to sexual crimes, alleged sexual crimes against other people in the community, because listen, the people that's accusing T.I. and Tiny are Black females for the most part, right? And we are just the most unprotected. And I'm not even about to go there because that's a whole different show, and we can talk about that later. But we also have Black boys that's been sexually assaulted, like Raz B, at the hands of Black men who runs the hip hop community in the music industry. All right. And now that this whole thing is unfolding and the people that's on the front of this are Black men, and so many people in the Black culture is so, you know, we as black people are traumatized by the criminal justice system, by the court system, it's less likely for us to encourage people who are known predators, that are black males in our community who know, and even black females in our communities who are sexual predators, is less likely for us to encourage them to be prosecuted by the fullest extent of the law, because we are always in speculation that every time a black person comes up, the white media wants to bring them down. But is it possible that they brought themselves down by letting the money and the power get to their head and turn them into monsters and make them think that it's okay for them to sexually harm an individual, or sexually assault or rape and drug an individual because of the power that they gain based off of them being a superstar and based off of them being who they are? And listen, this stuff happens in the white community. Like I said, what happened with that movie director, was it Epstein, whatever dude name is, they just locked him up. This happens everywhere, but it seems like when it gets targeted on the black sector of Hollywood, when it gets targeted on high profile black men, since we're so sensitive to the justice system, the criminal justice system in the black community, there is always a ton of people in denial, so much, you know, so much controversy surrounding it. So many people in denial. So many people in defense of a predator, the alleged predator. There's less people that's trying to help the victims of these people. So I don't know. Do y'all feel that Black Hollywood is about to be turned upside down? And how many other people are going to be coming forward or possibly going to jail on the fact that they literally thought they had the power to do whatever they want based off them being talented, rich, and famous? You know, people like to use their power, and don't get it twisted. There's plenty of women out here, you know, and we see it a lot of times. The women get, let's see how much time I got on here. We see a lot of women, you know, and just through the industry, or just, you know, who get with powerful black men or powerful white men because of money and stuff like that. They might not even have anything in common, but they know that this rich white man or rich black man or rich Asian man, it's everybody, just because you could be rich. It's not even about the skin color. It's about your financial standing. And these people, these women or whatever, they know that they're wealthy. They're going to jump in bed with them, because they want to get that bag. They're going to use their body for a come up. It's just equal weight prostitution, but sometimes they put a ring on it. You know what I'm saying? So with that culture going on so much in Hollywood, it's becoming a custom. And now there's so many people who's fed up, and now they're coming forward. And now it's a domino effect, and it's all coming crashing down. In the words of Kanye West, when it all falls down. That's what's going on right now. Okay. But yeah, you know, I mean, I feel like I've been preaching about this for half an hour because it just goes so deep. But man, what in the world is going on when we have 30 people coming forward per male celebrity who's being accused, saying that they done been sexually assaulted? Is sex trafficking that deep in the music industry? Is that possible? What is it, you guys? This is, you know, it's crazy. It's crazy. Y'all, I want to know what you guys think about the topic I just spoke about, you know. I like to get deep with y'all. I'm trying to help expound it more, because this is a particular subject that's so sensitive. And it's been things that go on that happen to women in the industry that's just so wrong and so foul that people don't want to talk about it. People don't want to discuss it. But now the chickens is coming to roost. And when the chickens come to roost, what we gonna do with that? That's a question I want y'all to stick with. And we gonna get over to this next situation. Now let's talk about Instagram. Okay, y'all, listen. The other day, right? I'm on Instagram and I'm scrolling, and I noticed that all of a sudden the likes and views just disappear on a few of the posts, right? So I hit a friend up and I said, did you notice that the likes and the views aren't showing on the Instagram post? And she says, no, I don't know nothing. I don't see nothing, right? So I'm like, okay, well, maybe I'm tripping, right? Maybe I'm tripping. No, I'm not tripping. It's still not showing, right? So this goes on for an entire day, okay? Next thing I know, I go on another blogger's page. They put up a post, right? And then I go through, you know, social media. I'm reading articles. And there's an article that comes out that says Instagram says it mistakenly hid the like and counts for more users and promised to fix the issue ASAP. So now we're saying it's a computer glitch, right? And sometimes it happens with these apps, right? You got to do updates every so often. I get on my phone and, you know, I'm like, oh, damn it, I got to do an update on this app because it's acting weird. Sometimes the apps start acting weird. You click on it, you say, oh, it's due for an update, right? Well, and then I left it as that, right? Okay, well, now I can see my likes and views. We're good, okay? So I go scrolling and I look on another person's blog, right? And it sparked my mind because they made a statement, something similar to the word of interest of, is it possible Instagram is setting up the takedown of the social media influencer? This is my interpretation off of what I saw. So this isn't their exact words, this is my words, but this is an interpretation off of what I saw. And the reason this person felt this way is because, according to them, Instagram is going broke. Now you're going to say to me, how is it possible for a page as big as Instagram, who's also owned by Facebook, to be going broke? Is it just their social media channel or is it everywhere? Think of it like this, ladies and gentlemen. How do most websites make their money? Advertisers, right? But if the advertisers, okay, they buy in and they buy ads and stuff like that, they make money off it, similar to Facebook. But Instagram, they don't show ads, right? So they don't have many people really buying into ads on Instagram because people don't want ads on Instagram. They want to make it easy and scroll through. So what people have been doing on Instagram to make money, social media influencers, they use their likes, they use their view count, and they use that to market themselves to outside partners to help them build money. None of this money is going to Instagram, right? So they're basically helping to build billion-dollar brands, million-dollar brands off of their platform, and they're not seeing a penny. Ladies and gentlemen, they're not seeing a penny, allegedly. These are all accusations, right? So if you are a person who has the power over the entire world to influence them, like an app like Instagram, and you are making no money, right? What will be your next step? You're going to try to interfere, right? And this is speculation once again. So what would you do? Hide the likes, hide the views. Without stats, you can't sell a product, right? Now, granted, people like the Kardashians, of course, they're going to be able to sell whether they got stats or not, because we know that they're one of the biggest influencers in the world. But small-time influencers with 60,000, 100,000, maybe 1 million users on their followers on their Instagram page, they need their stats to finish deals. They have to show proof that they're not botted up. They need those stats. And without those stats, it's less sponsorship deals. It's less sponsorship opportunities for these people, you guys. Think about it like this, all right? If I am a small influencer and YouTube, it's not YouTube. Well, we can just say in general, social media apps all together. If I didn't have my likes and comments to show proof, ladies and gentlemen, that I actually have the following, okay, what are we gonna get from this? Nothing. It's gonna be harder for me to secure a brand deal if I don't have stats. The slogan goes, when men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie. So let's say it again. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie. So that statement itself lets you know that statistics and numbers are very essential and important to everything that you do with regards to bringing in money, regards to bringing in revenue, in regards to growth. You have to have statistics, especially in this game when you're on social media trying to build a media empire, okay? And it takes hard work to build it. Y'all listen, I've been building on YouTube for about 1.5 years now. I'm proud of myself because the work that I've done, I was able to get myself to a certain point, to a professional level, right? And it's very hard for you to get to a point where you're a professional and you're making some form of income from the work that you're doing for the general public independently. That's hard, but it can be done. How, everybody? It's because you just really need to understand the formula, the work that you're doing, and you have to put everything into it and really try to push it out forward. But you can't do that without the numbers. The numbers are important because if you have viewership, you'll always have income. If you have stats and numbers that show people are listening to you, you'll always be able to bring in income. And I'm not talking about these little click ads from YouTube. I'm talking about brand deals. I'm talking about selling merchandise. And I made the ugly face. Brand deals. When I'm telling you, I'm talking about money. You get what I'm saying? If Instagram take that away from listeners and viewers and people that goes on there just to, interact, and people that's trying to make money off it and build their brand, do you know how many people and wallets they're going to affect? But they wouldn't care, right? Would they really care? Because they really trying to make sure that their numbers are looking good and their numbers are in order when they're talking about money, right? And the thing that I also noticed on Instagram recently too is that they're starting to run ads on big influencers pages. Okay, so that gives you a clue that Instagram is like, okay, we are literally getting to the bottom of the barrel with us just having a bunch of shit for free. So what we need to do now is bring in ads and sponsors. I've seen it on people like Lala Milan's page. I've seen it on Young Yeezy's page. Blame it on Quay. I've seen a lot of big time influencers that have over 1 million followers and stuff like that, who sometimes when you click on it, there's ads running for Tide and all these other brands, right? And it's because they're trying to commercialize it and make it so there's commercial playing similar to YouTube, similar to Facebook. And since Facebook has been bought out with Facebook has bought Instagram, it's going to make it so they have a similar business dynamic because it's basically all one and the same. So the next step will be axing out more competition, making it so it's more financially profitable. And how will they do that? They're going to use the influencers and try to maybe pay them out for ad clicks and stuff like that for them to bring in money. But if that's not enough to make sure that the money is going to directly come to them, what could possibly be the next step? And remember, this is speculation. This isn't truth. I don't want Instagram coming for me with a lawsuit, okay? This is speculation. What would be the next step that you think that they would probably do? Delete and erase statistics. Do I think it's going to happen? They can. It's their platform. It's not our platform. They can do whatever they want. That's why I always encourage people. That's why I have my website. DJJericaPod.com, because of situations like this, y'all. You got to have additional ways of connecting with your own people that's directly made by you and ordained by you. Because when you have sites like this and they're going through financial hard times, you might end up being a casualty to those hard times. And that could be them taking away your statistics, taking away your likes. And since we live in a world of so much fake people who pretend to be fake important, we're going to have a bunch of fake people who pretend to be fake important with fake numbers trying to get endorsement deals without proof that the people that's following them are actually interacting with the posts that they have. Like, I'll go check my stats on my Instagram. I have a couple of Instagram pages, and I see that over 500-600 people have seen my post when I put out my media post, or I've seen a post that hit 1,000 and something people who viewed it. They may have not interact with it, but they viewed it. You know what I'm saying? And those statistics are important, because sometimes people just go off of the likes, but if they see, okay, well, they might not have liked it, but they seen it. What we really care about is people viewing it. Those are important numbers that people go by. And if they decide to delete that, do you guys know how hard it will be for an influencer to really, really make that good money if they don't have the stats? If they're not already established? Like people, like I said before, like people like Blaming on Quay, Lala Milan, people like a Young Easy, or even I Am Zoe, they're going to be fine, especially black. I'm talking about black influencers, you know what I mean? Because those are people I follow. They're going to be fine because they already built business relationships. But what about the upcomers? What about the new folks that's building their stuff that only got 100,000 subscribers, or only got 30,000 or 40,000 or even 10,000 subscribers or followers on their Instagram page? You know, and if they can't show the numbers and proof, where does that leave their brand? Is it fair? Is it fair? And I think maybe it's just business, but it's like it's messed up. And that's why I always encourage people to build their own platform. You know, there's people who I noticed, such as Funky Dineva and Lovely T, who has been shadow banned on Instagram. I have to have the post notifications on for both of them, because if not, I'm not going to see their post. I mean, it's because they're on someone else's platform trying to promote their stuff. My biggest thing I've always tried to encourage for all social media influencers, because I'm still, like I said, my platform is big to me. And also, just one quick thing before I get into get more into this whole Instagram thing. Thank you guys for really coming through to my website, djjericapod.com. For the month of February, I had 10,300 hits on my website alone. And I'm so proud of it. Okay, because I've only been blogging heavily for like the past 7 months or so. So it's been like a year, but the last 7 months I've been pushing really hard with the website and everything just all in one. So I'm just very proud. And I appreciate y'all. And like I said before, y'all, I did this independent. I haven't paid Facebook for ads. I don't do that. I don't pay Instagram for ads. Listen, I paid Instagram a couple of times for ads, and it really didn't help my page at all. You know what I'm saying? I figured out my own ways. I will tell you how I actually did it and how I've made it so my website has had over 10,300 hits on my page within a 4-week period on a short month, because it was only 28 days in February and I got those numbers. But I can't be giving it out for free. Okay, so eventually I'm probably gonna put together a nice little brochure for people and explain to you guys how I built my social media empire eventually, or have a thing where y'all could donate, and maybe we could do a Patreon thing, and I'll tell you guys the actual steps on building yourself on social media when it comes to podcasting and things like that, because everything that is said has value to it, and I just can't be giving it out for free. I'm not gonna be one of them fake influencers and half-ass you and say, yo, oh, I'm gonna tell you the steps, and then I don't tell you the steps. I'm gonna tell you exactly what the steps is and how to do it, but I always put value in myself, and me as a person and viewing myself as a business, I'm gonna always put value in the things that I do. I can't be giving it out for free. But my biggest tip to you guys is to make your own social media platform, which is making your own website. You know, stop relying on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, like y'all gotta start like really use those platforms to build your own shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you go and put together a video for this platform, direct people directly to your own platform at the end of that, so people will know if anything ever go wrong, they can find you at least on your own website, still doing what you like to do. And speaking of which, you guys, I'm trying to put together an email listing of my new people that's out there who wants to be subscribed to my website. Comment below. I know some of you guys have private emails, whatever. DM me on Instagram at DJJerica or at the DJ Jerica podcast, and send me your emails, and I'll add you guys to the email list for my website, djjericapod.com, and it gives you updates on celebrity news and stuff like that that's going on. You know, if you guys want to support black media or whatever, and you want to be added to my email list, then feel free. Make sure you guys do what you got to do. But anyways, back to Instagram. Like I said before, you guys, I think that if Instagram did do this, I feel like it's going to shake up the way social media is going to be looked at. And if they're going to do it, a lot of other people are going to do it. So with that being said, wrapping up that part, get your own shit together, y'all. Don't wait. Don't wait before it's too late, baby. All right. So, next here, we got 6ix9ine. 6ix9ine is being sued again. Tekashi 6ix9ine can't seem to keep himself out of trouble. For real. And also, we do got the song pick of the week. I can't wait to review that later on today, you guys. But yeah, anyways, the topic right now, we talking about Tekashi 6ix9ine. So Tekashi 6ix9ine is currently being sued by his former security guards. They're basically saying that he didn't pay them. And, you know, he was in the headlines because it's a stripper that's actually suing him right now because he allegedly, like, bludgeoned her with a champagne bottle out, you know, while he was out. I think this happened in Florida or whatever, but this is the main headline. Let me tell you, this is the second lawsuit he got in 1 week. Like, Tekashi 6ix9ine, is he breaking his probation? Because I could have swore, like I said before, remember, he got all that stuff going on in the court system. Everybody's calling him a snitch. He snitched on people. He got out early and all sort of stuff. But he's still out here wilding. So according to TMZ, Tekashi 6ix9ine had a force field of protection around him in the late 2018, shortly before he was locked up, but forgot to pay the people guarding him. So claims a security company in a new lawsuit. 6ix9ine is being sued by the Metropolitan Patrol, which claims it provided protection for the guy, including 11 days in the month of November of 2018. Part of that time, Tekashi was in LA rolling deep with bodyguards as seen in the pics. And of course, you guys can see this entire spread on djjericapod.com. According to the docs obtained by TMZ, the Metropolitan Police says Tekashi signed a contract with them in which they agreed to provide around the clock armed security. The lawsuit even includes a detailed schedule of shifts they claim to have worked. It looks the rate was $85 an hour during the day, while late night shifts was $127.50 per hour. MP also claims that it provided him armored vehicle, namely a fully loaded Yukon with ballistic panels, and 2 police-style Ford Explorers complete with lights, sirens, everything. All in all, the Metropolitan says Tekashi tab came to a little over $75,000 for the job, but when it came to time to pay up, they claim he simply refused to fork over the money. Now they want the judge to step in. The Metropolitan The Metropolitan wants what they say they're owed on the contract, plus late fees, legal fees that have added up. In total, they're asking for $88,000. 6ix9ine's lawyer, Lance Lazaro, tells TMZ Tekashi's booking agency at the time, NTA Bookings, is responsible for covering the tab and that the Metropolitan beef is really with them. He says Tekashi has nothing to do with it and owes them nothing, calling the lawsuit meritless. So he's basically being sued, but of course, you know how celebrities get down. They don't actually take full responsibility for the things that goes on around them. So they always live by that, have your people call my people so we can be people, like type of mentality. So he's basically trying to say that Tekashi don't actually owe them any money or anything like that. It is the responsibility of whoever his booking agent was, and they didn't pay them. So we're going to see how that whole thing unfolds. I mean, this is ridiculous. Like, Tekashi 6ix9ine is just staying in the headline for all the wrong reasons, okay? And then, of course, I don't know if I discussed this in my last show, but we did have another story about him and alleged stripper and him basically bludgeoning her over the head. I'm going to try to get down to that story, too, while we're talking about Tekashi 6ix9ine. Man, but these celebrities, they be out here doing the utmost at all time. And then we got to talk about Nelly and Akbar on Twitter going back and forth, man. This stuff is getting crazy, man. Let's see if we can find it. Where's the other story about Tekashi 6ix9ine? Listen, I'll be putting out 20 articles a day, you guys. I'll try to bring it back down. Where okay, here it is. So Tekashi 6ix9ine is facing a lawsuit as a female stripper is suing the rapper for aggravated battery following an altercation at a nightclub in Miami. The accuser states Tekashi 6ix9ine blooded her head with a champagne bottle. Okay, now via uproar, Tekashi 6ix9ine has been involved in a decent amount of controversy over the past couple of weeks, but the latest reports find the rapper in some legal trouble. According to TMZ, once again, he is recently being sued for aggravated battery by a Miami stripper following a club fight on February 20th. The victim, Alexis Salaberios, and her lawyer, David M. Tarlow, told the publication that an altercation at the city's Gold Rush Cabaret began after someone called the rapper out for snitching. During the ensuing fight, he tried to throw a champagne bottle at the individual, but he ended up unfortunately missing and striking the stripper and struck the stripper in the head. Okay, Salaberios reveals that the incident forced her to go to the ER, where she received several staples and close to a cut on her forehead. In the suit, she claims he threw the deadly object with an intent to commit serious bodily injury. In addition to the rapper, Salaberios is also suing the club for the lack of security around Tekashi, despite knowing he was knowing he has propensity Okay, and she also is suing the club for the lack of security around Tekashi 6ix9ine, despite of knowing that he is known for having a possibility for violence because of his whole situation and him being a snitch or whatever. That's basically what it's talking about. She claims that the club's employees removed him from the club after she was hit with the bottle and tried to convince her to not call the police. Tarlow says she refused their request and reported the incident to officers. The rapper's attorney, Lance Lazaro, said his client was not involved in the club fight. There are video cameras in the establishment. It is an attempt to shake him down. If he is served properly, he will immediately move to have it dismissed. 6ix9ine just can't stay out of trouble, man. I'm telling you, man. I don't know what's up with that, but he just can't seem to stay out of trouble. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, isn't he violating his probation in some form? I could have swore that he got released, but he's on probation, and this is like 2 lawsuits in a week. And I'm granted the other lawsuit was before he actually went to jail, so I don't think the judge will hold us to that. But if this thing just happened like last week, I wonder if he could get locked up for doing that. And also the Meek Mill fight that was on tape too, because he's doing the most. And then, you know, it's just like, if you're gonna go out, do your job. Don't be throwing bottles at people. And also beef with your security, 6ix9ine. Maybe he ran out of money. Is people still buying 6ix9ine music? Or is it still bots on Facebook and YouTube making it look like he important? Look, you ain't hear that from me, okay? Because I feel like most of his videos is botted up. That's just the vibes I get from him. Whatever, you know, call me whatever it is, but that's just how I be feeling when I look at his stuff. I be like, 100 million views in one day. All right, bro. We gonna see. So did you guys get to see D'Angelo's verses with Friends at the Apollo? Listen, your girl was supposed to watch it, but I was not feeling good that day. I don't know what was going on. I had this terrible headache, and I didn't get the chance to watch it. Okay, from what I heard that a few great people came out and performed with him. It had a listed catalog, including her. She came out and performed a couple of songs with him, and it was a really good, legendary night, you know. But, you know, the thing that got me was me finding out after this entire ordeal is that allegedly the verses was originally supposed to have been between him and Maxwell. And I'm like, it didn't happen though. It was supposed to have happened on Valentine's Day. And I'm like, oh, that would have been crazy. But I'm like, how would that versus go? I mean, I think it would be good, but it's like, a lot of people saying that D'Angelo couldn't go up against Maxwell. I mean, they're both equally amazing singers. Like, I love me some D'Angelo because of my mama. She plays his music so much. And I love me some Maxwell, you know? But in most recent times, when I say career-wise, I feel like Maxwell has been taking W's with the new music, you know, compared to D'Angelo. And it's nothing, you know, me dissing him because I love his music, whether people in the industry is bigging up D'Angelo or not. I always will support his music. But if they did do a versus, I feel like if we got towards the end in the past decade, when it comes to hits, it would go to Maxwell because of Pretty Wings. And, you know, of course, he got the 90s with Ascension and all these other hits that he had. But then we get to the 2000s and we think about, you know, 2009 with Pretty Wings. D'Angelo went a very long time and hadn't put out music for a long time. You know what I mean? So I was just trying to think of like, what song could he put up there? I know that he put together a song album in 2016. I think he won a Grammy for that, but it wasn't as highly highlighted as Maxwell's music. And Maxwell had out some more music too, like a lot of other music. So I feel like if it was a real versus, I think Maxwell would win by default based off of timing in the spaces in between their hiatuses. You know what I mean? I feel like in the past 10 years or so, Maxwell has been hitting out more hits than D'Angelo. D'Angelo has taken a very long 10-year hiatus, 15, 16 years hiatus. We don't know what D'Angelo was doing. You know what I mean? And Maxwell has a tendency of being very mysterious himself and taking long breaks in between, but he's more active. Like, he gives us a break. You know, I feel like the longest break that he took was maybe like that 7 to 8 year break, and then he came up with Pretty Wings, and it was like he never left. We got Black Summer's Nights. You know what I'm saying? That album was crazy. You know what I mean? I actually got that album on my wall. Yeah, so I don't know. Y'all tell me what y'all think about that. Do y'all think I mean, I would love the verses for sure, but I wouldn't have watched the verses with Maxwell and D'Angelo for the competition because I feel like it would take away the music experience, and I just love both of their music. You know, if I could pick my favorite song from D'Angelo, would be Send It. Send it on, send it through, send it back to you. Listen, I know I'm off key, but it's whatever. I'm send it on, send it through, send it back to you, knowing you. That was the joint, okay? And that's funny. And then, of course, How Does It Feel? You know, that's the joint. You know what I'm saying? But Maxwell Pretty Wings, and I can't let you. Like, it just would have been too hard to choose. But I probably would just been relaxing, burning some incense, and shooting a damn breeze if I was watching them do a verses. Like, I would just be in musical R&B heaven listening to these two dudes. Okay, but yeah, that's interesting to know. And they said it's supposed to be on Valentine's Day. Imagine, listen, if they did that verses on Valentine's Day, it would be a lot of pregnant women running around right now. And I know it's a lot of pregnant women that's pregnant right now because of Valentine's Day. But if they decided to do that verses on Valentine's Day, it would literally be the entire Black female population, okay? Heterosexual female population would be pregnant, and it will be some babies booming by the end of this year had they did that. Okay, had they did that, it'll be women of all ages, from the ages 29 until 45. They'll be walking around pregnant because they sat there for 3 hours listening to D'Angelo and Maxwell with their dudes. Okay, like, listen. So maybe they did it to not have a population overload. Okay. But anyway, that would have been a really, really good show. So did y'all hear about the Nike vice president, like, retiring? And, like, actually not retiring, the Nike vice president stepped down. Okay, a VP or executive, a VP, I think that stands for vice president in Nike, right? The VP over there stepped down because her son is over here reselling sneakers. Okay, her son took her credit card and allegedly bought $134,000 worth of Nike limited edition sneakers. Okay, and then after he bought these sneakers, he resold them, y'all. He resold them at his resale store. Okay, now He used his mama's credit card. His mama's Nike credit card. Look, I can't make this up. How in the hell? Listen, they said he was 19 years old. Now, I went on this dude's page on Instagram, and he don't want to show his face. Now, this is before it was unveiled that he used up his mama credit card to build his brand. But it's so funny because he wouldn't show his face on social media. But now I see why. Because you knew you was robbing your mama the whole time. You knew you was robbing your mama the whole time, and you gonna have the nerve to be out here reselling this. This man, if you go on this man's Instagram page, y'all, he got all of these stacks and stacks of sneakers, all proud about it. He using his mama Nike credit card. So you basically taking Nike money, giving it back to Nike on a discount, taking the stuff and then reselling it for a lower price. Or a higher price, whatever you do at your resale business. Now, that would be okay if you was an average person. Or maybe not, if it's Nike's money. But if it's your money, then I think it should be okay. But you took your mama's money who worked for Nike. And then you resold it. Where do we do that at? And of course, this lady, she just said, okay, well, I guess I just quit. I don't even got a job no more. She just said, don't fire me. I'm just going to resign. I know this is all wrong. Listen, had it been my child, I don't have any kids. Had it been my child, Lord, had it been my child, that's all I can say. Okay. Who does that? And you know that lady was getting paid millions of dollars, something dollar salary. And listen, what did she do to her son for him to do something like that? That just sounds like something revenge type stuff. Like, you didn't want to give me my new car, my new sports car, so I'm going to take your credit card, mom, and I'm going to buy up everything I can find. I'm going to resell it. Couldn't be me, y'all. It could not be me. All right. Man, it's crazy, y'all. That entire story is definitely on my website, djjericapod.com. So check that out. That was one of the craziest stories of the week. Like you gotta be kidding me right now, man. I'm gonna read it. Let me just read the details instead of being so vague with y'all. I'm gonna read the details. Okay, it says Ann Herbert, a Nike employee of 25 years who most recently served as a VP overseeing the North America business, left the company on Monday according to an internal email viewed by Complex. This is from Complex magazine, and it's also in my website. Ann Harper, VP and GM in North America Geography, has decided to step down from Nike. Effectively, immediately, the email reads, "We thank Ann for her more than 25 years with Nike, and we wish her well." Nike also put out a press release this afternoon publicly announcing the end of her tenure and confirmed the move in a statement to Complex. Ann Herbert made the decision to resign from Nike. The brand said, Herbert leaving Nike comes after the publication of Bloomberg piece focused on her son, a 19-year-old sneaker reseller named Joe. The piece mentioned the credit card that Joe used, which is his mama's credit card, okay, for his reselling business, West Coast Sneakerwear, that was registered in Ann's name. The reseller insisted to the story author that his personal connection with the Nike executive not be written about in a piece and cut off communication after it was brought up. Joe Herbert reached out via a third party and did not respond to the request for the comment of the story. Nike, however, does not permit its employees to participate in sneaker reselling. The practice of buying a shoe as their retail price and only to sell them at a higher price is still taboo to many collectors. A Nike spokesperson told Bloomberg that Ann had disclosed information about the business to her employees in 2018 and there was no violation of the company policy. The Bloomberg story sparked outrage online where commenters questioned whether the younger Herbert was gaining unfair access to limited edition sneakers, which was the help of her with his mother. Some brought up the 6 pair of rare Nike mags would sell for $12,000 shoes now. $12,000 each. Who is buying $12,000 shoes? Listen, listen. I don't care if, well, I mean, if I'm a billionaire, maybe I would buy me some $12,000 shoes. But I don't see, unless them things can make me fly, who is paying for $12,000 shoes? Let me finish this off. Then that he said he randomly discovered in a storage unit in January 2020, speculating that they were obtained through more nefarious means. One source claimed that Joe would buy pairs in large quantities from Nike outlets using his mother's discount to resell later. Okay, in her purview at Nike included apps, the SNK RS app, a destination for coveted products where shoes regularly sell out immediately only to be resold on secondary market. The brand spends a good amount of money and energy trying to protect the platform from bots that can help resellers buy out stock faster than any humans. Bloomberg's piece on Joe Herbert business describes him using bots, compromising online launches, mentioning that he ranked up those, like I said, $132,000 in one morning for a launch of Kanye West sneakers on the artist Yeezy Supply's website. The same car, the corporate American Express car, was registered in his mother's name. So yeah, like I said, that's the full spill and the breakdown of the news article and that. But y'all tell me what y'all think about that. And in other news, let's get back to verses real quick. They're saying that Raekwon and Ghostface Killer from Wu-Tang Clan is supposed to be doing verses. And I seen this on social media and Swiss Beats mentioned this. And they supposed to be the next up for the verses, but I'm confused because I'm like, aren't they gonna be rapping like the same songs? Like, of course, people, you know, the hip hop community, they're legends. But I was just trying to understand, like, how are you in the same crew going against each other? Like, I mean, who could go against Wu-Tang Clan that's like a big hip hop group? I don't know, like a Tribe Called, why couldn't it be like a Tribe Called Quest versus Wu-Tang or something like that? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? It don't make sense to have two people in the same group go against each other. That's a little weird to me. But that's what Swiss Beats is claiming. Okay. And in other news, let's get to talking about the music, man. Okay, so my music pick of the week is a new record by Patrick Page. Okay, for most of you guys who do not know who Patrick Page is, he is a part of the music group The Internet. The Internet is closely tied and connected to Tyler, the Creator. If you're talking about bigger names, Frank Ocean and things of that nature. And he just came out with a brand new song and with Duran Bernard, who is also a singer. I love him. He's actually the background singer to Erykah Badu, and I actually been following him since I want to say 2009 when I was in college, and they basically put together this funky joint called Whisper, Want My Love, and it's definitely dope. It's funky, it's fun. I love it. And they got the social media influencer KD in there, and it is so freaking hilarious, y'all. Like, they be bringing the funk in that video and that song. That is my music pick of the week. I really need you guys to go check that out right now. The music pick of the week, Patrick Page. Okay, like I said before, Whisper, Want My Love. Y'all need to check that out right now. And of course, if I could play the song, I would. I really want to interview him and his crew because they look like they just a bunch of young cats that love to have fun. You know what I'm saying? I love to have fun too. And I look forward to spinning their records. And also, make sure you guys follow me on Mixcloud because I know people like, you know, you guys hear me talk shit all day that I'm a DJ. Of course, I do have my mix show that I just put back on Mixcloud. I'm doing this stuff independent. There's a lot of reasons why I'm doing it independent. But yeah, make sure you guys follow me on Mixcloud too, okay? But yeah, big things, big up to them. And that music click, I'm telling you, it's a feel good. Y'all need to check that song out, man. It's a feel good record for sure. It really reminds me of that old funk, you know what I'm saying? The old 1970s funk music real quick, you know what I'm saying? That P-funk, all that. It's just, it's smooth, you know what I'm saying? And different. it's definitely different. So check that song out. Check out that music video. It's on YouTube, of course. Subscribe to the man's channel, y'all. I try to support people that's, you know, a part of the culture that's doing something and putting out dope music. So hopefully we'll be able to do some more interviews. And y'all, the celebrity interviews are coming back, but I'm focusing on myself right now with this stuff. I got so much stuff trying to get organized. I got to get more content out to you guys and build more followers. And then we're going to take this to the next level. And listen, we almost had an hour and a half, y'all. We're going to be wrapping up towards the end of the podcast. There's one more thing I want to talk about. And, Andre Leon Talley, and most of you guys know who he is. He's like a fashion designer. He worked for Anna Wintour and stuff like that. He had a lot of culture in the fashion industry, and it's been going around that he basically losing his house, and he owes back rent of $500,000, you guys. And basically he went to social media today to tell people that they did not need to send money to a GoFundMe that he put up, not he put up, but someone else put up for him, to help pay for his expenses. Man, it's crazy. And it says, he says in this post, he said, "I cannot thank you all enough for the outpouring of love and concern. I am healthy in mind and spirit, and I'm quite grateful for many messages from dear friends and extended communities. As you probably know from chiffon trenches, I've experienced in many peaks and valleys in my life and remain quite resilient." He also came out and says, "In the matter we are dealing with is unfortunate, but we will be handling in a very capable legal team." With a very capable legal team at this time. He also went on and said to King Smith and the people who put up the GoFundMe and those who have contributed, "I appreciate the thoughtful gesture and generosity, but it is completely unnecessary." Now, Andre Leon Talley is about 72, I believe, and it's unfortunate that he's going through this financial hardship, but this is a lesson for a lot of people out there, and particularly black people, is to know your value. You know what I'm saying? Trust your value, because I don't believe, you know, seeing that he's an elderly man and he worked on the likes of people like Anna Wintour, who's made hundreds, millions and millions of dollars for the work that he's done. Why is it that he's 72 years old and he's about to be evicted from his own home? That's the stuff that got me concerned, got me thinking like, yo, what's the deal with that? Like, what, you know what I mean? But this is a lesson for black people out there who works in the music industry, is to never devalue yourself. It's okay to rub shoulders with people. It's okay to network yourself, but never ever devalue yourself and not get the money that you deserve for the work that you do. Don't give out freebies to people. It's okay to talk to people. It's okay to network with people, but understand when people are trying to bring you in for business, understand that it's business, and make sure you apply your value. Make sure you apply your value and make sure that you get what's yours, because you got to pay your bills. You got to keep a roof over your head. And once the time passes and you don't have nothing left, there's no one else trying to help him. They got a whole GoFundMe up. Where's all the fashion girls at right now that could possibly help this man? He has contributed to the culture in this industry. This black guy has contributed to the culture. He's did some phenomenal things for a lot of models and everything else who's millionaires now. And is it their responsibility how he swindled his money allegedly, or maybe mishandled his finances? No, but it's also just saying, like, how many times have he possibly could have got paid for something, or possibly may have not got paid what he was worth working amongst people, especially being like the only black person I noticed that was behind the scenes in the fashion industry, a gay black guy doing his thing. You know what I mean? So this is something that people in the industry need to pay attention to, and we're going to get deeper into that, you guys, and we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about the value in this community, because there was another person who was a comedian also, who came out recently from, let me see, the lady that played Whitney Houston on Mad TV. Let me just go on here real quick, because this is something we really got to talk about seriously. It's not good. So yeah, so I mean, just thinking about it, I was just thinking about like Deborah Wilson from Mad TV, who came out and basically was talking about how she basically carried the show Mad TV from the beginning of its inception for an entire damn near a decade, and they wouldn't raise her salary. But then her, you know, white male counterparts came in and they were giving them way more money than what they gave her, and they still refused to pay her what she was worth, so she left the show. This isn't new. This is stuff that happens behind the scenes of Hollywood. It's important for us as black people in the entertainment industry to know our worth, no matter who we're working for, whether it's for white people, whether it's for black people, knowing our worth. Another thing I seen also was Taraji P. Henson only got paid $40,000 for Benjamin Button, which made probably $600 million in the box office. Now, am I saying that her network was still kind of low, so maybe that's why she bargained so low? But I could feel like maybe she could have got herself six figures. I think she might have deserved six figure. It's so many things, you know, when it comes to doing entertainment, that I noticed that a lot of people out here is richly broke. They're rich and they're broke. And the thing is that is like my biggest nightmare. You know, I'm average, right? I'm doing all right. You know, but I don't want to be a person who's rich and richly broke, which means I'm famous and I'm broke. I don't want to be that person. I want to make sure that my finances together. And this is something that you should not feel guilty about what you demand and what you need, because if people need your resources, which is going to help them propel and bring in income on their end, you should value yourself as well and understand what you're bringing to the table and try to negotiate something so you are not destitute. If you are not destitute, then you won't be out here working for free, y'all. Come on now. It's got to be better. Something got to give on some real stuff. And it's just unfortunate. This is what it's coming to in Hollywood. And I'm seeing people that I've watched that's been in the industry for 20, 30 years who's in serious financial hardship. And I'm talking about particularly black people, black entertainers, male and female, who refuse to ask for their worth. You know what I'm saying? And for me, I'd rather work for myself for free and get my money independently with a little bit I can get, versus me building and making something and not having anything to show for it in the end because I got hired for a job and it wasn't worth it in the end. So we gotta really just watch ourselves as black people in the entertainment industry, just as in Hollywood and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? The way they did Deborah Wilson, she was hilarious. She carried the show Mad TV. I watched that growing up just to see her perform, and they did her dirty. They didn't pay her what she was worth. That's not right. You know what I mean? So, you know, you guys tell me what you guys think about it. You know, tell me what y'all think about this whole Andre Leon Talley situation. It's really sad. I hope he's not being too prideful for help. If people are trying to help you, Mr. Talley, I would say take it. You've been in the industry for like 50 years, almost 40 something years. You've been doing this. You're old. You know what I mean? Let them save your property, and don't downgrade the donations. If you can get a donation, take it. Don't be ashamed of it. Do what you got to do to keep your property. And Deborah Wilson, I don't know if she acts anymore. I know that she was on her show on the Comedy Hype, but she really basically was just saying that she was kind of like bowed out of that phase of her life. But I'm wishing her well as well. And I hope Taraji P. Henson, I hope you know your worth now, Taraji, and I hope you're not taking deals for $40,000 no more. I know you're not, but don't let these people play you. Get what you want and get what you need to survive out here, because it's hard. It's hard. And with that being said, I think I went through all my hot topics today. Oh yeah, Danny Lay got dragged by Akbar V, okay, because she said all this stuff going on with this whole colorism, and this yellow bone is what he wants, and the baby dumping her and everything else, and that was a whole mess, okay. And now the chick has come to roost. Akbar V was calling her out on it. It was just one big spill. Y'all need to check out that gossip also on DJJericaPod.com. Y'all tell me what y'all think about it. Do y'all really think Danny Lee is a colorist? And do y'all feel Akbar V was right for calling her out and calling her out for being a colorist and just saying like, yo, you ain't nothing, basically. I think that's the last news report that I got for now. And everybody that's out here, I appreciate you guys for checking me out on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. If you guys like what you hear, if you guys enjoy my podcast, make sure you keep subscribing and supporting, man. I'm out here pumping out these videos for you guys, working really, really hard. I appreciate y'all. And like I said, I'm gonna catch you guys on the next video. Y'all take care of yourself, and much love, everybody. Much love. If you guys are on YouTube, subscribe on if you guys are on YouTube, subscribe right now. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, subscribe right now. Leave your ratings on Apple Podcasts. Leave a review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Make sure you guys leave your comments and share. I'm at DJJ Erica, website DJJericaPod.com, and at the DJJ Erica Podcast. I'm gonna catch y'all on the next one. Leave a comment, y'all. Leave a comment. Help me push up the algorithm on YouTube. I need y'all. I'm going to see y'all in the next one. Much love. Peace.